gorgeousness.
How are you? You look gorgeous too. It's so good to see you again.
You too. Look, Tanisha, I love the hair moment. The top. What is this, a dress or a top? This is
Oh no,
cute.
it's a top. Okay, so it's like this little Bridgerton thing.
That's giving me a moment, girl. I love that. I'm here for
We're
that.
trying to be floral in spring, even though it's all gray outside in LA.
I know. It's like, well, May Gray. I don't know where they got that term from, but
The vibe, I'll tell you. I was
it's
like, oh.
it's definitely not a vibe. Okay, so Tanisha, I'm so excited to see you. Like you said, I feel like the last time we spoke was last year, right before the or right at the beginning of the pandemic, last April, I believe it was.
Oh my
And
goodness, yeah.
yeah, but I feel like I see you all the time.
I feel like I see you all the time too.
Yeah, so it's like I'm like, okay, well, hey, girl, hey, but I see everything going on. I see you all the time. So, hey, T. I'm so excited to talk to you. So proud of you. First of all, congratulations on season 2. I mean, and we're going to dive into that. You guys, season 2 was bigger and better, I will say. And congratulations to Layne, but I'm not going to spoil it for people who have not seen it. You have to stream yourself on BET Plus.
Yes, yes.
For those unfamiliar with the show, and you star as Elaine on Bigger on BET Plus, and it follows a group of 30-something friends as they navigate through life. It's so relatable. That's what I love about it. Like, I can relate to it. The music, the season, everything. I was like, okay, I'm here for it. I have to ask you because, like I said, the last time I spoke to you was at the beginning of the pandemic last year. What have you learned about yourself, or what did you learn about yourself during that time of isolation and quarantine?
I learned that I'm a dog mom. Like I fell in love with dogs just on Instagram. I kept watching dog videos back to back and on TikTok, and I was like, I want a dog, so I got a dog. She is 8 months old. She is trying to escape the living room and be a part of this interview right now. She's very
Yes.
I'm not playing with her. I didn't know I had like these extreme maternal instincts, but I do for her. She only weighs 2 pounds, so I'm like super protective of her.
Wow.
That was like the biggest thing I learned. I was just like, oh, I love this little furry thing. It's so cute. And I just want to like hold her all the time.
Oh.
Also, I learned that like I need rest. Like I would say the silver lining of how, terrible COVID was that some things closed down and I had some time to really just reflect on me because we
Right.
were promoting the show and it was just so busy. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, maybe it is okay if, after 5 p.m. on Friday, I don't do anything into Sunday night. Like maybe I
Right.
could give myself actual time instead of being like, oh, I need to be in an accountability class for acting. I need to make sure I'm working out. I can work out during the week. And then the weekend is just me, my friends, people I'm close to. That's it. I mean, although that wasn't really the case during COVID, but definitely learning that personal time is like not something I need to earn. I need that to function.
Wow. Same with the dog situation. I follow all of the doodle pages. Like, I'm obsessed with doodles. I just have to say, and I'm like, need to get one. So, you
Oh,
just probably inspired me to get one.
get one, get one. I keep seeing them in my neighborhood and they're so cute. This dude that lives near me has a giant chocolate one and it is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's
Oh
like
my.
the size of a baby, like a toddler, I should say. It's big, but it's so cute.
See, you're gonna make me go get a dog. So you guys get the season 2 pickup. How was it filming in the pandemic versus when you guys filmed season 1?
That was so interesting.
Mm.
It made everything take so much more time. It's just like we had to be as safe as possible. So we had like these zones in groups.
Mm-hmm.
Like they would have stickers on the floor in the studio, and it would be like, "You're now entering zone A. You're entering zone B. You're in group A. You're in group 1. You're in group 2." So you had to like look at the floor to know where you're going. Also, we always had on masks when we weren't talking on camera. Even though we were tested, the cast was tested every 3 days or every other day.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone wasn't being tested on the same schedule as us. Like there was and then we had guest stars coming in. So it was just like, to be safe, everyone's wearing masks. If you're not talking, you got a mask on. So then like mess up your makeup, and then your makeup would have to get touched up again because you put a mask on. That was really interesting. And then also we were kind of limited in what we could do. I feel like we couldn't do as much on location stuff. Like we did some really cool outdoor stuff. There's a
Yeah,
wedding,
I saw that. Mm-hmm.
and I won't spoil what the wedding is or what's going on in that wedding, but there's a wedding and it's outside because of the pandemic. So we're like, we got to be out in this beautiful, beautiful park
Mm-hmm.
by a lake. We spent the whole day by the lake. It was wonderful. And I don't know if that would have happened because of the pandemic, but we also didn't shoot inside of a lot of buildings because of that.
Wow. I did notice that you guys, a little spoiler alert, had the mask on in a bunch of the scenes. I was like, okay, so this is, but I think that people want to see that though, because it lets us know that, okay, they're on the same wavelength as us. They're not trying to be like in the future or, you know what I mean? Or acting like we weren't in a pandemic. So I like that you guys kept it real, to be honest.
Also, it was like we really didn't know how we were going to shoot the show otherwise. Like that was a real legit conversation the producers had with all of us, and they were just like, "Why don't we just have on masks? Like for real? Like how else do we do this safely
Right.
without endangering anyone? We'll just wear them, and we'll get cute ones for the characters." And everybody had cute masks for their characters.
Yes, the masks were matching the outfits. That's why I was like, okay, I'm here for it. Season two packs a punch, right? Like that's why I said bigger, better. I love season two. T, talk to us about how your character Layne evolved this season.
Ooh, okay. How to do this without spoiling? Okay. So Layne, as we know with Layne, she does not trust herself or her own voice or her own wants.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool because we come into season two and Layne has come into herself a teeny bit more. Her
Yeah.
store is booming. It's been featured in Essence and other publications. And she's styling some celebrities
Yes.
coming into her store. It's like the coolest, vintage store in Atlanta and Little Five Points. And Little Five Points is dope. So if your store is blowing up there, you're blowing up. So she's got that happening, but like she doesn't know how to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Says she doesn't know what's next because that felt like an unattainable goal. Like the store's doing well,
Right.
styling famous people. Okay, so what do we do next, and how do we get to that? And
Right.
then there's a tomfoolery with the men. I'm not gonna get into that, but the usual.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, look, I was looking like it was me on the I was like, I'm sorry, wait a minute, girl.
Oh, you got men's with two S's at the
Well,
end.
I used to. I'm married now, but 9 years. But I used to back in the day. Back in the
Okay,
day,
I have too. I'm not mad at it. I've had some men's at times.
is with the S. Yes, and continue. Keep going to continue to. So what else?
Oh wow. And then she's just trying to navigate how overwhelming the anxiety is that comes along with all those things. Because you put
Right.
all that pressure on yourself and it's you gotta deal with it somehow. And
Right.
she's in a very, very anxious place without spoiling anything that's happening for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, because it's only been out, I think it's been out for a few weeks at this point.
I think the people have seen it, and the people are speaking on Twitter.
I had enough of these damn spoilers, Liam.
If you go on Twitter, you'll get a spoiler alert for sure. What I love about the show, like I said, it's the stories are so relatable. Very nuanced stories, but very like I said, you feel like you're on screen, right? Or you are taken back to a place in which you were at some point in your life. The music and the stories this season, girl, the music, who came up with these?
I know we had a budget for music, like a budget. I mean, last season we did, but this season it's like extra popping. It's really cool. I think like our writers and our producers really make a point to help you exist in the reality of where these friends are.
Right.
Which is why I think it probably feels so relatable to some people. I mean, that's the most flattering thing I could hear is that somebody watches something fictional that I was a part of, and they're like, "That's me and my friends." Like, it just makes me want to cry because it's all you want as an actor. You don't want to be like, "Oh, that's that fictional fantasy thing," which is cool when you're doing that, but when you're doing something like this, where you're like, I want you to see you and your beautiful Black friends,
right,
your real life struggles,
right.
feel immersive. So I'm so glad you feel like that. It's very, very flattering.
You should be proud because you guys deliver. Do you all have any input on the stories that you guys tell? How do you guys come up with these storylines or the stories that, because they're so, like I'm saying, they're like, wait a minute, the HBCU aspect on campus, I mean, it's so many different parts where you're like, wait a minute, are they reading my mind? And I know so many other people are saying that at home watching. How do you guys come up with the storylines, and do you all have input?
So most of that, actually more than most, probably like 98% of it is that's just the writers and the producers. That's them putting themselves in. I mean, and credit to our writers and producers because they want to tell an authentic story. And I
Right.
want to do that as an actor. So it's so nice for them to be like in the writer's room pouring their souls out like that. I know Felicia Mary, our creator, a lot of stuff in the script is directly from her life. So we're very lucky that, we're able to get that from her. And we had a lot of new writers this season too, and they were very, very open and just kind of putting their personal life on those pages, which is brave. I get to like improvise here and there, but in terms of story, I really like they don't ask me, and I don't want to do it. So I
Right.
just I do what they write. We're not biting off too much more than we can chew now.
Right. Hello, you write it, I'm gonna act it. I definitely get that. So many guest stars. Jasmine Guy, Clay. I mean, so many freak. Your mom,
Debbie
like,
Morgan,
yeah.
like she's
I was like, oh my goodness.
I mean, it was like really working with her was like beyond. She's such a pro. And like what she gives to that character, it's just unreal. Like at points I'd be like, "Are you my mom?" Like
I had a good connection.
and stuff. I was like, "Oh my god, this you. Do you want a Newport in your mouth? Because then you'll be my mom. You'll be right there. You'll be her." But yeah, the guest stars, it was just like really an honor to get to even work with people of that caliber. I mean, I'm not trying to talk down on my show, but it was just like, we're fairly new actors.
Right.
That many very seasoned, talented, wonderful guest stars. It's just like, oh wow, like I'm lucky to get to do that with them. Like, and you get to like see how they work and like have table reads with them. It's so cool.
Who was your favorite guest star this season?
Debbie Morgan. I mean, that's Debbie. I mean, obviously Jasmine Guy. I didn't get to do a lot with her, unfortunately. Like we only had her for one day for like a short group of scenes. I mean, that was like jaw dropping because this was the second time I got to work with Debbie. That was insane. I remember the day I saw her on set, I almost cried. I was just like, how did we get you? What are you doing here? That was like really, really an honor. But Debbie is just the stuff she gives you as an actor is just, I don't even know how to put it in words. Like she's just so good and so naturally good and just goes in and out of scenes. And I always think like the best actors, they don't need to be like method. They don't need to be like in character all the time or whatever. Because she goes from 0 to 100 real quick as the mom, but she was just eating a salad with you over in our chairs and chatting and showing me like goofy videos on TikTok. And then she's yelling at Layne next.
Is she on TikTok? Wait a minute. Oh,
TikTok. I know she just loves it.
okay. Oh my God. I've been watching her since I was a kid on the stories. Like,
that's everybody's mom on TV. That is America's Black mom right there.
woo, you are blessed, honey. What will fans leave feeling this season after watching this? Because I left feeling like, woo, that's what I think. I was like, woo.
A lot of woo chow.
Like, the child part, I was just like, woo, okay. What will fans leave feeling?
I think the fans will leave with more questions. More questions about the Ride or Die 5. More questions about Layne and what is she actually trying to do with her career? What's she actually trying to do with her relationships? Like, girl, what's going on?
Yeah, it's the relationships for me, T. I'm like, Layne, what is going on?
Like, so in her defense, people be doing stuff to her, okay? Stuff happens that makes her do what she's doing.
Look, side eye. Okay, girl, okay. I don't know. But it's definitely like I said, it left me feeling like whoa. I love that this show, in particular this season, explored burnout and the whole. I love that because we're in this grind culture, social media. Everybody's on the grind. Everybody's hustling, trying to get it done. And I love how, you have a story on the show in particular and it explores burnout. How, why is that story important and how have you avoided, going through, the traps of being burnt out in this career that you built for yourself?
I think it's so easy as a creative person to burn yourself out because you never know when your work is coming, and
Mm-hmm.
it's usually, feast or famine. Uh, the pandemic actually forced me to learn what it felt like to not have stuff to do and that it's okay.
Right.
Stuff will happen. Like if you are honing your craft and you are making the right connections and you are kind and you are intentional with your purposes, everything turns out okay career wise is what I learned, instead of like, oh my god, I need to make sure I'm on social media posting every day, oh my god, I need to make sure I'm emailing my agent, oh my god, I need to call my manager, like, oh my god, I need to be watching everything that's on TV that has to do with what I want to book or this producer is doing. Like,
Right.
learn to like set time aside for that and then set time aside for myself.
Right.
That should be done first.
Right.
If it's not okay, you can't do the other stuff. You can't
Mm.
work 15 hours a day every day. You can't.
You can't.
And that's where all the anxiety and stuff comes from. Like you're putting all this pressure on yourself to do all these things, but you're not giving yourself a moment to even appreciate them.
Mm-hmm.
With like that grind or die culture.
Right.
You're not recognizing the wins that you get because all you're doing is chasing goals.
Mm.
So I really, like, the pandemic really forced me. I was already in a place of, oh my God, I'm doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like everything closing down, it was just like, oh wow. It actually feels nice to take 3 days where I don't do anything.
Wow.
And I take my phone and I put it in another room.
Mm.
Like 3 phones for different things now.
Right.
And that has been lovely. So, I mean, you're just take time for yourself and make sure it sounds selfish, but it's not. It's just
Mm-hmm.
care. And that, especially for Black women, because we're always supposed to be taking care of everybody and saving everything. No, sis, no, we're done.
Right.
Everybody else is rolling that way.
Right.
So just do you first, and then you can do them.
Right. I love that. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And like, we just talked about with the whole burnout, and you guys explore that on the show. What advice would you share for people that are creatives, that are, maybe actors like yourself, or creatives in general? What advice would you share with them on how to protect their mental health? How not to succumb to, like you just said, all of the phones, all of the emails, all of the social media. What advice would you share with them on how not to get trapped in that?
I think I'm trying to like think of a not overly wordy way to say it. Definitely just focus on what you actually need first. And remove yourself from situations that aren't feeding you. I think that was really important for me too. There was a point in my career where I thought I had to audition for every audition that came in my inbox. Even if I didn't really like it, even if it felt degrading. Even, it was like, whoa, I'm so lucky. Actually, I am lucky, but I've also worked very hard.
Right.
A lot of years.
Right.
To get to be happy with the work I'm doing, to get to be happy with the people I work with.
Right.
So I would say, just kind of piggybacking on what I said earlier, put yourself first. Don't put yourself in toxic situations. You don't need those.
No.
And if it's toxic, I don't care who's running it. You don't need to be part of it. Take yourself out of it. Move on. Find somewhere else. Trust and believe. And just stay focused on like what's aligned with you and what you actually want. Because I think you also can get caught up in what other people have. It'll be like, oh, well, look what they're doing. They're doing this, that, and the other. And that's like social media.
Yes.
They're only posting the great things. If I posted every terrible thing that happened to me along with the great things on social media.
Girl, they'd be like,
Yes, exactly. You'd be like, oh, this girl's life is a mess. It's a mess.
Yes.
It's not like only good things happening. It looks like it.
Right.
It's not, life. And being an actor is not as glamorous as like magazines and things make it seem. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a whole lot. And then add on that, being Black and a woman in America. It's a lot. Girl, it's a lot.
Can I get a break? Take a break. That's what I'm saying.
Breaks. Look, T, what do you have coming up next? Season 3? What is the word on that? Girl, can you tell us something? Give us some news.
I don't know any information. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. Ain't nobody telling me anything. I'm sitting over here as out of the loop as everybody else. I don't know what's going on.
I don't believe that. I don't believe well, look, we know we getting to season 3 the way this left. I mean, we have to. I know they wouldn't do us like that now. I just know.
Hey, look, you know, the business is what it is. You never know. You never know. So, and until I have a deal for season 3, I have no idea what's going on.
Okay, I know you'll come back and tell us about it, right?
I absolutely will. I will be the first to tell you.
Okay. See, I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited. You kill it every single time. And we're still due for a date. Now we're out in the open now. We need to go have a cocktail or something.
Some brunches or something. I know. And I'm fully vaxxed up. So I'm like, I can be a human again. I miss humans.
What was the first thing you did like after getting your or like what was the first real thing you did after I don't know the vaccine? What's the first real thing?
I got a pedicure. I got a pedicure. Girl, my feet. Oh my God. My heels of my feet. It looked like I had been rolling them. Like I took flour and put it on the ground and I was just only putting heels and flour. Like I was just like, I got to get flour on these heels.
You see?
That was wonderful because I had been doing my own nails. I have like
Me too. I have been putting the press on nails.
Oh my God, we've all been doing
Girl, I just got my pedicure last month. So I'm like, ooh, child.
all that skin off your feet. You're like watching it come off like, wow, okay.
I'm like, it's a little bit more on there. Can you get a little bit more? Get a little bit. Because they're like, no, it's I'm like, no, just a little bit more. But see, come back and talk to us anytime about whatever you have going on. I'm so proud of you. You killed it. You killed it, series lead star that you are.
You're so sweet, Ashley. Thank you so much for having me and making
No,
time.
seriously. Love you so much.
Where is the buzz?
Where is the buzz you said was mine, oh mine?